Welcome to The Dentist Show. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to The Dentist Show.
The Dentist Show.
We're back in Spokane.
Yeah.
The state where the true dreams come true, not Dallas.
Not Dallas?
No, Dallas is where dreams go to die.
That's where we last recorded. And
yeah, it's been a few weeks.
It's been a few weeks, yeah.
But we're here. So this is our first live, non-live event with live people.
Yeah, we have real people in the audience.
Yeah.
So many people.
Yeah. Pretty much the whole Spokane family dental office is full.
Yeah. Just the walls can't handle the capacity.
But we're here. We're doing a live presentation. You can't see because the camera's off.
Yeah.
Gets blurred.
But there is a blurry presentation back here.
And it's not a muscular Ryan or Chase on the TV like last time.
And there it is, the guns.
No comment.
So anyway, what I want to do is I wanted to start with a little bit of a presentation and kind of for our guests here, and then we're going to open it up for a Q&A. And anybody listening via podcast can also send us some questions, and we'd love to answer them for you as we go through. Your questions help us learn, and they help us grow as dentists and as business owners. So let's start off. So we're doing a question and answer show here. We'd like to thank you for being here tonight. And this is more of a conversation for associates, owners, and any leaders in dentistry. Our mission is to have some real talk so that we can have some real growth. I'm Dr. Ryan Bushman, Chase Davis, you guys know. We're co-owners of 7 dental offices combined, and we're co-hosts of the Dentist Show podcast. We consider ourselves leaders, family men, mentors who've been in all of your guys' shoes, right? Why do we do this? Why do we do this podcast? We feel that dentistry can be very isolating, and ownership can be even more so. For anybody that's been a dentist that owns, it's full day of being a practitioner, going in and out of rooms, and then all the work that comes after that in the night. So we wanted to give a place where we could talk about some of our concerns and complications throughout the day and how we can love dentistry again. We believe that ownership, the key to ownership is clarity and impact and purpose. And we want to have real stories, real tools, and real community around what we talk about. What's the Dentist Show? It's a podcast of dentists at every stage of ownership. We talk about where we've been, where we're going, and where we want to be. And we try to be as raw, honest about how owning and practicing can, how it is, right? Helping dentists grow without losing themselves in the process is what we want to do. So for the associates dentists out there listening, we want you to learn to lead before you own, understand the metrics, systems, and dynamics of early, and coach associates into ownership, mindset, and skills. For current practice owners, we want to help simplify systems and reduce the overwhelm, get clear on your leadership, culture, and numbers, and grow profit and peace of mind at the same time. For those multi-practice owners, leaders, learn to do leadership in replication and system scaling while protecting our culture as we grow. And that's something that we're trying to do a lot of. We are emerging multi-practice owners and keep growing that and trying to help grow our culture while protecting our systems has been probably one of the most difficult challenges as we grow. And then trying to avoid the chaos while doing that. And for anyone who's worked with me long enough, and anyone who works really close with me knows that chaos is probably always around me. So I appreciate everyone working through it with us. I truly believe that ownership should build both wealth and well-being. The practice gets better when the leader gets clearer, and anyone can grow into leadership with the right support. And tonight is for you guys. Ask the hard questions. I want you to get clarity on your next move, whether it's buying, scaling, or leading, and let's build something meaningful together. So with that.
And welcome to ChatGPT.
That's right.
So Ryan's new trick.
It is.
Just don't ask to see his tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm scarred still.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah, I think this has been I think it's great to just get your ideas out there for everybody. And it's been great just to get to know Ryan.
So anyway, Chase, what are some questions you want to hear tonight? Got any ideas?
I
I know we had one from Dr. Fisher out there.
Is she going to ask it live?
I know you can ask it live. Oh, she is. She's looking for the mic.
Well, how do I phrase it?
So we were talking, I'll frame it for you. We were talking a little bit before we started podcasting that we have a practice up in Cave Creek that is a fee-for-service practice with no insurance.
Okay.
And so you had a question about how that deals with our quality.
Going fee-for-service sounds intriguing and awesome. Part of my hesitation is, are my skills of the quality that requires, or is there a threshold?
And then I made a funny comment in your direction about, so you're okay with doing less quality dentistry or getting paid?
Yes.
And we all know
I guess it helps
true.
me sleep at night.
But
I feel like that was reassuring as like a new grad. And as I'm transitioning from a new grad maybe to a more experienced dentist, I still kind of am carrying that baggage of like, well, the contours don't have to be as good on your filling, or the injection maybe wasn't painless, and that's okay.
I think the main thing with a PPO office is probably, it's not what you're thinking. It's not the contours of your composites or your margins of your crowns. Patients don't know. It's the same dentistry to them. It's what they are better at is building relationships. So there's a less of a volume of patients, so they can spend more time building those relationships. And you'll see that doctors, they don't run to the office like sometimes we all do, because we need a break, because we're just going patient to patient. We're seeing so many. So they have time, and I think they obviously purposely make time because they know that relationship means more to that patient, because they're paying us more money. And so they appreciate that more, where a lot of the PPO offices, the patients are very price conscious. And so they're going to pick the lowest cost no matter how they are treated. So in the PPO office, you can get that that mentality where you just try to bust patients in and out of here, even though your quality might be the same. And actually, I would probably admit that I'm actually a better dentist because I've done so many procedures through the 15 years on PPO patients than if I was a fee-for-service office only doing a few of those procedures each day. So I'm actually, I think a lot of PPO providers are actually better because they just do so much versus they have so many more reps versus a fee-for-service office does not. So the skills are not this, like you don't need higher quality, like higher skill level for your dentistry because you're already there. It's maybe like what makes me nervous for taking some other offices out of network is do our providers spend enough time and build relationships with the patients? Do they really understand the patient, not just like how many patients can I see in one day?
Part of me is wondering, do I and do our team members have the skills to do that, and how can we train them?
And is an office with like multiple associates incentivized to function that way? I mean, I guess we're as an associate, am I really wanting to build long-term relationships with patients in an office that I'm an employee at?
Mm-hmm.
Or would I rather just run from room to room to room
and not build relationships?
Yeah, well, it sounds kind of dark when you say it like that.
No, but it's valid.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to what we always go back to, case acceptance. It's the same track, right? If you want to do more dentistry, you just spend a little more time building a relationship with the patient. So it's not a transactional relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's a relationship built on trust. And so it's not like, the doctor just wants more money because they bought a new car or on this vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's talk about your life. And then, by the way, you need some dentistry, and then it's less transactional. So as my highest producing associates get that. It's some associates are really just working, just pumping out dentistry. And others are really forming those relationships. And so they can do less dentistry, but make more. I think that's so as associates, I think that want to have, that just be an associate the rest of life. It sounds actually really nice to me. it would be beneficial because you get to do less and make more. That makes sense. So if you can do 3 crowns a day and like a few fillings and you're doing $10,000 a day, that seems nice. Or you do like 10 crowns or 10 fillings, crowns, and a root canal, you do $5,000 a day. It's like, so the benefit is you get to do less and it's calm, and you still produce high numbers. So it's like you'd see the less numbers and do less people and do bigger numbers. Do less, make more.
Yeah, and I'd venture to say, just based on some conversations I've had with the Cave Creek dentists, which you know better than I do, they seem very happy with their career at that office.
Yeah, I mean, if you can compare numbers, like one of the associates did like 110,000 last month, and she worked 3 days a week. And when I go visit the office, I feel like, are we even going to make rent? Like no one's here. And so it's just a different mentality, you know? And so it's, and Grand Cape Creek, the office we're talking about, is a higher end area. So it's less about money, because to live in the area, you have to be to at least median or middle class. But it seems like, like compared to all the other offices, it seems like a dream, because the associates are super happy because they're actually like more than most dentists are as owners, and their associates. So they don't have to go home and keep thinking about work and being stressed. They get to go home and live normal lives. You know,
Can I get a job there?
Yeah. Seriously, that sounds nice.
I tried to offer you a job at our Hayden practice. You denied me. So can I have a job at Cave Creek?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're painting this beautiful picture.
Yeah. I will prove that. Cassidy, you're moving back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a long distance relationship. I'll get you an apartment in
There we go.
North Scottsdale.
Yeah, you paid for my apartment. I'm there. Let's do it.
It's a party scene. You'll like it. That's a great question.
Yeah,
though.
that was actually a great question.
And one I always think, I actually have a limited mindset sometimes about my doctors because of that. I go, well, I don't think they have the skill set. And it's not the skill set that you're thinking of. It's the skill set of, are they going to pay my doctor 2 times what they'd pay the dentist seriously like a block away? And I think all of our docs, like, I just talked to an assistant up here that worked for a big corporate office, one of the largest ones, starts with an A, ends in a pin, and there's an S in there.
Never heard of it.
And they said they're really good at hiring foreign trained dentists. That's like their specialty. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're great dentists, and they just don't have the same skill set of being building relationships with people or team members. And so with our great doctors, they have that built in already in them. And so they're already like so much further beyond the typical average dentist that we can do it. And we're going to start trying to do more of that. So you get to maybe have a calmer lifestyle and still make more as an associate. So yes, that's a great question. I fight about it all the time.
I need my mic girl to carry our mic to the next.
All right, I got a question. So what's the key to a successful partnership? You see a lot of partnerships fail. And how about for you guys? What's the key you guys think is for a successful partnership?
Great question. Initially, I think live in different states. We don't have to see each other very much. I'm just joking.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it helps.
Break a verbal contract as soon as possible.
Yeah. So, I'll give you a little bit of the start.
I guess Dr. Moss hasn't heard the story.
Yeah. So, I was working for Dr. Davis down in Arizona, and I said, yeah, I'll come and I'll work for you for a year. I'm committed. Let's make it happen. 2 months into that, I said, hey, I'm only here one more month and I'm out. It was 4 months. So 3 months in, I was like, hey, so my family wants to move back to Washington. I'm out. And he's like, great. Should have made you sign a contract. I said, yeah, probably should have. And then I left. And like, what was it? Like kind of halfway out the door, you're like, hey, if you find anything up in Washington and you want to partner up or something, let me know. And that was the only time we talked about it. Then I came up here. We found a practice, walked through it. It was a dog of a practice, right into the ground. And I called Chase. I said, hey, so that thing you said, you want to be a partner? And he told me, I will help you get to where I did in 9 years in less than 3. And you're going to hate how much money I make when we get there. Okay. He's not wrong. I pretty much hate him now at this point. No, but the reason I told that story, to be honest, is he was upfront about what he could commit to, and he was upfront about what our pain point might be in the future. And it was a little more in depth of a conversation than that, but it was pretty short. He's not a man of too many words.
Nope.
Yeah, grunt a little in that, then we'll really know. So I think the biggest key is just that, is making sure you are upfront about what you want, make an agreement on what that looks like, and then really try to see what some of the pain points or the pinch points could be in the future. And then one thing that Chase has done for me is he has actually, let me put it this way. As someone that had someone help invest in me, I felt a lot of pressure to make sure we succeeded. And every time I felt the pressure of like, I got to call Chase and have this conversation about how things aren't going great, he always made me feel good. Always felt better after having the conversation than I did building up what that conversation could look like in the future. And so maybe I got lucky. Maybe Chase got lucky because I'm really awesome.
I think partners are tough because if you think about marriages that end in divorce, it's almost all of them are about money. Like a lot of them are that way anyway. So at least the old statistics. And so now you have a relationship that's all about money and no good side of a marriage.
Yeah.
And there's a bit like eventually it's going to be an exit. Whereas with the marriage, you're hoping with someone for your whole life. And but the key is actually the same as marriage. So if you feel like you're always doing a little more than your partner, it's actually, you're probably doing 50-50, because your partner going to feel the same way. So I feel like when I have like a frustration with our spouse, it's like, I do everything around here, and I do. And but
Raquel, we're going to talk about this.
It's usually she feels the same way a lot of the time, and I think the partnership is the same way. So whenever you feel like as a partner, like I do everything, or I'm the main producer, which probably Ryan feels, a lot of time it's like, yeah, but we actually both feel that way a lot of times, and so that's the key, is just knowing that you're always going to feel like you're undervalued and the other person feels the same way. And so I think at the same time, you can help with the partnership by acknowledging that and supporting each other. It works out. And the other thing is, I think a lot of dentists get into partnerships too soon when they're both practicing in the same practice. Whereas Ryan has always been our main provider up in this office. And so we weren't fighting over patients. So a lot of the partnerships I know of that failed, they're always fighting over patients because the practice isn't busy enough yet. And so they kind of get in bed too soon. And so then there's a fight with money, like too fast.
Yeah.
Well, in our case, it's like, Ryan, do more. Like, we want you to do
There's
more.
no money if you don't do more.
Yeah, someone's got to work around here. I tell them all the time. Like, I like to go to movies and go to lunch. You need to work. You gotta pay daddy.
Yeah. That's how he says it. So really it's not that great of a relationship. It's more of an abusive relationship. And you just gotta have the abuser and the abused in this. So yeah, I think I don't know if that helped much. I think it really is like a lot. I mean, I actually had a pending partnership before meeting Chase here that it was a couple investors were coming together to build a practice, and I was going to be one of the doctors working in there. And then another doctor was being paired with me, and we were going to have the opportunity to buy the practice after 2 years. It seemed like a pretty good operation and a good opportunity as a new grad coming out. And then I started looking into my new partner, right? And my new partner had a lot of unsavory things about him in his past and his dental license and things that I didn't want to partner up with. And so I started to plan our divorce before we ever got married, right? And I think to the point of like, maybe the money battle comes too early in a lot of partnerships. I think really knowing that your long-term goals and who you are and what you value is aligned with each other. And we're all going to change over time. I mean, I am kind of getting tired of him. Eventually, I'll have to separate from him.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
All good.
Any other questions out there?
Burning questions.
So what's is this on?
Yeah.
So what's something that you have learned in the last few years that you wished you'd have known earlier?
It's the people. I think I keep people on our bus too long and give them too many chances. And there's an opportunity cost to that. Sometimes just being speed to let people go is actually really good because that helps them long term because they get to find something they actually like. So if they hate their job, you're not doing any favors by enabling them to stay here. And so I think the last couple of years it's been, and I've also never really liked firing people. Actually, very, very rare fired anyone. I always made someone else do it, and I still do. But it's not as scary because it's not, when I go in to have a conversation with somebody, it's not to fire them. It's to figure out like, why are you not happy? And so I'm quicker to have that conversation now, or ask my team leads to have that conversation quicker. And so we can get them somewhere they are happy with, and we can find someone that aligns with their culture and their performers quicker. So we can accelerate through the process of finding someone that wants to be on our team. And when we have someone on our team that fits our culture and is a performer, suddenly like the practice just takes off, and we'll have the same marketing going out. We switch a team member up front, and all of a sudden our new patients start crushing it. We didn't change anything. It's just one person. And so I've learned that a lot the last 2 years, some hard lessons that you try to be a nice guy, and you try because I feel like we have a great organization. And so it's like, why wouldn't they want to be here? So in my mind, I'm like so egotistical thinking like, why wouldn't you want to be here? I'm amazing. Like,
You are amazing.
I know. Thank you.
Like, I mean,
Exactly.
so many good qualities.
And so I keep giving them like chances, like, oh, they'll snap out of it. And then they rarely ever do. I think I mentioned last podcast, if a thought ever comes to me, like, I need to let them go. I've never been wrong. And it sometimes takes 2 to 3 years before I let them go. But I'm never wrong. And it's not like that I kept messing up. I couldn't care less. It's more of, oh, they're not rolling the same way as we are. So
yeah, it's I agree with you, Chase, that like having someone that's enrolled with our direction that we're going is so powerful, and having people that grind against that it's like getting cancer in the office. You can easily turn a super high functioning team into a less than stellar team with one wrong person. And maybe not the wrong person, it's just not the right fit, right? And they can go fit into another company or another position elsewhere and thrive and do amazing things, and we can help someone thrive with us.
yeah, I think being enrolled just means so much more to me. And because I always thought before, when I didn't want to fire anyone, it's because I didn't like them, but it's not like I thought they were lazy or I thought they were not a good person. And that's not the case. They're just on the wrong bus, because you can move. Actually, this happened before. We've hired somebody and they were thriving. And I actually met the previous employer and they said, wait, you hired them? They were awful. And they come to our office and they're thriving. They just came to the right show. And also we've had people leave that were miserable with us, and they found another practice or another business, and they start thriving. They find where they align with, and that works so much better. So.
Any other
pain
points?
Is that what you've learned too in the last 2 years?
Well, I think that's probably the most beneficial thing I've learned is, the people really matter.
Yeah.
Good, like not good and bad, but useful and not useful for all of us.
Yeah.
One thing that I've really learned a lot is being able to do more complex surgeries or offer different services is super huge for like the one doc practice or a couple doc practice for sure. Is like, and I know a lot of our associate team, and I know David, that being able to offer a lot of services opens the whole world to what you see as dentistry. And so if you can learn how to do extractions, root canals, complex extractions and other surgeries, implant placements, things like that, it starts to open up the way you view your day, and you can now start helping patients in bigger ways because you're not afraid, well, what if this tooth is fractured when I get into it? Well, then you extract it. Or what if this tooth needs to be extracted and they really want a tooth? Well, then we can place an implant, right? And so it just opens up the world for you as a provider to help our patients. And you don't have to live in that fear of like, well, if it doesn't go the way I want it to, can I accomplish this?
And that might not be for everybody.
Yeah. It might not.
And I think if you can just find something you're passionate about, which is actually really hard for me, and I hate saying it because I don't have anything I'm passionate about, I feel like sometimes.
He's passionate about me, guys. Don't worry.
Except my partner, he has hair and a cattle's hat too. But they, I think that's great. I think the providers that keep practicing late in life is because they've found something they're passionate about. And the passion could just be they love their patients. The passion could be they love this new technology. The passion could be like, oh, I discovered this new technique for this root canal. The passion could be, I really enjoy leadership. So it just depends. The passion should be, I'm okay as a dentist. I'm just living life. My passion is to serve my team, to help to push them to be something more and then discover who they are. It just depends. It's just like some passion, like just helps you get up out of bed a little bit each day. So I think some of us love surgeries. Some of us like the bread and butter dentistry, but somehow we got to find something we really enjoy or passionate about to make it easier to get to work or out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's something you and I have uncovered a lot over the last couple of years, is not necessarily having more money makes us any happier. Not having more offices makes us happier. It's being able to give a little bit of ourselves to more people and help them learn to lead, help grow individuals into positions that they didn't know could exist, helping doctors do procedures that they didn't know they'd ever be able to do. And being able to truly mentor people is what brings me a lot of passion and excitement. And so find your dream, find your passion, and you can do anything you want in dentistry. You just can't do everything.
What brings me passion is watching Ryan work and me not working.
Yeah.
Makes me very happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you made a comment. We were trying to figure out what time to have our leadership meetings a couple weeks ago, and you put in the comment, I can't do Mondays. I have patients on Mondays. And then I have to tell myself, why are you so mad? Oh, it's because I see patients every day.
On Mondays,
5 days a week. I'm seeing patients.
Hey,
right
I
now.
won't work on Mondays anymore.
Okay. Meetings on Mondays it is.
Monday morning, they're meeting. I'm out. And we got that? Schedule it up.
Schedule it up. Joraine, Chrissy, got that. Dr. Davis no longer has a job.
I'm out. Officially.
Yeah.
All
right.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Burning questions?
It can be about business ownership. It can be about anything.
Just no urine, pee, and burning.
How do you guys choose your practices when you're looking to expand?
Very carefully.
Sometimes not as carefully.
There's one in particular.
We love it.
It's a pretty building.
It is a pretty building.
That's about it.
So up in the Northwest, truly it was, the first practices were a matter of opportunity. I found a good way to get a pretty reasonably priced practice, and
The Spokane one?
yeah, the Spokane one. So the Spokane one, we got at a pretty reasonable price. It was kind of
Wait, what? The first one?
yeah, the first one.
Oh, we got hosed.
Well, I mean, we bought equipment.
Yeah.
We paid less than the equipment we got from the practice.
Yeah. You didn't get hosed. It was all medicated.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't realize.
Yeah, it wasn't a winner of a practice.
Yeah.
But then we did end up having Dr. Marshall's practice come up for sale right down the road, and that was
a great acquisition.
That was a great office. That was a great opportunity. So, best ways to pick a practice, I think we've talked about it before, is if you are one of those doctors that can do a lot of procedures, then if that office is referring out endo, extractions, implants, referring out a lot of things, that's pretty exciting to us as owners, because that's a lot of opportunity to bring things back in-house that are already going out the door. So that's a huge thing for us, is to look at what's their mix of services and how can we bring that back into the office. Location's pretty important in a sense that it seems like besides our medical lake practice, we're pretty close to like other medical providers. And you used to bring that up when we were first looking at practice. You're like, how close is the hospital?
Always close to them.
Yeah, always close to the hospitals. I don't know why that seems to work.
Yeah, patients are just drawn.
Yeah, you got other medical people in the area. And so having a hospital close by or other medical practitioners nearby just seems to it seems to work for us. And
Well, the truth is, Ryan will buy anything.
that's true.
I think we've had like
That's
10
true.
LOIs up here. Okay, five.
Five LOIs.
It's like, practice for sale. Let's buy it.
Yeah.
And he'll sell me on it.
I will sell you on it. That means
Yeah.
you're gullible.
I am gullible.
Yeah.
So there is
What makes you decide to buy a practice?
was got to make money
Yeah.
because it's got to pay the loan.
Yeah.
Got to pay a team.
Yeah.
And I think that's all. I think it depends. If it's your first office, that's different than a satellite office.
Yeah.
If it's your first office, you can kind of like, is the selling doctor sticking around? If he's not, then you just like list like what services does he do? Can I do those? And you know the numbers perfectly.
Yeah.
It's really easy to determine what you're going to make. And the selling brokers make it super simple, typically by breaking it down.
Yeah. You can look at like, what do you normally produce at the office you're currently at versus what the current or the office you're looking at buying is doing. And then you can do that quick math and be like, yeah, I can produce that. And if selling doctors leaving, then probably in business.
Yeah, if it's your satellite office, well, and it also depends. It's hard replacing a hero, right? It's hard replacing a really good dentist or a really renowned dentist in the neighborhood. So I like to buy where the bar is low. Like, oh, they don't speak English. Like, like, I don't know, some bar that's really low. Like, hey, we do a different procedure, or we remodel the office, we make it better. Something like change something to make it grow.
Yeah.
And same thing with satellite offices. That's actually, I think the worst time if you're trying to have multiple offices when you have 2 or 3. It's really hard. You're just running everywhere. Hey, sounds like you, Ryan. Yeah, you're just running everywhere. You're trying to do all the procedures, and it's because the offices aren't profitable enough to like hire outside help or like a leader to go and manage the practices for you. And so 2 or 3 practices is actually the most stressful I've ever been, for sure. So when you're satellite offices, you really need better margins. You can't go by your second practice based on your first practice numbers. It doesn't work. It's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and having a satellite office that's already running without an owner doc in it is great. And if you get a satellite office that doesn't, at the owner's leaving, then figuring out how you can replace that doctor.
I remember when I was looking to do my first second office, I had a consultant that said, well, have you maximized your first office to capacity? I was like, no, but I want a second one, and I never really thought that through until we were like 3 or 4 deep. Like, if I would have just kept the one and really maximized the capacity, I'd be probably way, way ahead in life. Because your fixed expenses, like just the percent just falls to 0 as you increase your revenues. Like it's way easier to have a culture when it's one location, one team, they see you every day versus trying to have your culture go to different offices without you there. The numbers are always better. And when it's an owner ran office, numbers are 100% better. It's easier to grow. When you're like trying to grow a practice that you're in based on someone else that might not be in your culture, it's just way more difficult to get to the next level. And so I would, if I could go back, I'd probably maximize my first office better. And then if I'm not satisfied at that point, like, okay, I'll go to the second one, knowing my first one's maxed out, and I can feed doctors when I leave, and I can go and keep doing the same thing. So
Yeah, it's tough. Like I mean, for me especially, it's been tough to go from 1 to 2 to 3 offices and expanding my capacity to just work more hours a day, and still being able to build a culture within the teams. And we've suffered a little bit as I do that as an office, and so it definitely is something to be cautious of and to think out is like, have I fully maximized my one office before we expand? And I think that's probably best way to go before you expand into another location.
Yeah, just as get 2 like locations doesn't mean you're better off. Usually worse off.
I was gonna say I'm not better off right
I
now.
think most dentists have reached out to me personally, and they own multiple offices. They always ask, "Well, how can I get them profitable?" I'm like, "Well, how many do you have? Where are you at?" And they told me the numbers. If they're like 1.2 to 1.5 less in their satellite practices, like, dude, you're drowning. So you need to either like sell them off, go back and focus on the main one, and then you can grow after the main one's doing better, or you got to like bring a partner in that can help you with your culture in the satellite one to help it grow. Like it's the the guys that think they can just go buy 2 or 3 $1 million offices, don't do it. It's the absolute worst thing you could do as a dentist, and you'll really burn out quickly. And it won't end very nicely because you'll lose money and you have to
Yeah.
sell the practices.
The revenues aren't there to support it.
Yeah, I think that goes to also when you have like when you look going back to the partnership, it's really helps when you have a partner that can do something you can't do, right? Or you can do, but they're better at it. Or say if you're both practicing dentists still, one might really like endo, and one really might like sedating people, doing wisdom teeth, doing like surgeries. Like that's a perfect combination because you guys just refer patients back and forth and keep more in house. Or if someone really likes doing bread and butter dentistry, another dentist loves doing just specialized or specialty procedures, what a great mix. Or if one dentist is more personality and a salesman, but then feeds the other doctor that's not that, but they're a great technician, that's a really good relationship. Or one doctor that wants to be a great leader and want like step away from dentistry, but then there's a leader that support the team, and you have another doctor that just loves dentistry. So I think that goes back to having multiple locations. You gotta have some type of plan of where you're going with it, and not just thinking, if I buy more practices, I make more money, which makes me more happy. So work out like that.
That doesn't make you more happy?
No, more money?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's what you're in it for, right?
Someone gave a great quote. I wish I could, I'll or murder it, but he said, money can do like 4 or 5 things. Have you guys heard of this? You can buy things, you can give it away, you can help people, and you can have experiences. How many was that?
That's 4.
All right, so let's name 4. I'm pretty sure he said 5. I just can't remember the 5th. But let's say 4. And he says one of those will not make you happy. So if you're trying to make more money to buy more stuff, that is it's going to be a disaster because you'll be some deep depression because you think you're going to be happy by buying this stuff. You want to get there and you think, I need to make more money to buy more stuff because I'm not happy yet. And it's just going to be this vicious cycle. And you can make more money and give more money away. That makes you happy. Actually bring you lots of happiness. You can have more money to make more memories and experiences. That actually does make us happy because we get to talk about it. Like if you never get to experience life at a different level, then sometimes there's not a lot to talk about. So there are things, and you can help people. And there are ways to have happiness besides just buying stuff with more money.
I think more money provides opportunities to make those decisions, but it doesn't actually produce happiness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What else we got?
That was way off topic of the question of how do we choose to buy a practice, and that's what we're good for.
Yeah,
we're known for not staying on topic.
Known for those squirrels, rabbit holes.
Okay, well,
we made it. Your first live audience.
Live audience. So they're laughing because there's so many of them out there.
We're going to pipe in some old sitcom laughters.
There we go. Can we get the clap or the clap track going?
Yeah.
Hey, for those of you that are here watching us as we learn how to do this in front of an audience, we really appreciate you all. For those that are watching us or listening to us on the podcast, we appreciate you listening. And like I always say, if you don't like it, stop listening. If you do, keep doing what you're doing.
And like and share.
And like and share. Yeah, there's something in there. Comment on. You can't comment on anywhere but YouTube. We found out recently. So
I'm like pretty sure.
yeah, pretty sure. So if you're on YouTube, comment.
If not, just like us and leave a 5-star review.
Yeah, all 5 stars.
We got some ones.
Yeah, I think one of those was from my brother-in-law. So
Okay, makes sense. Do you ever get the ones from the office? You do, because I've seen them. They give you 1 star and go, amazing service.
Yes.
It's like, what?
Yeah. We just got one this week. It was a 4-star, so it's not bad.
But
But it was a 4-star, and they're like the best office I've ever been to. They took care of me, my wife, and this and that. We've had all these procedures done, and we love them. And it's talking about here at the Valley, and then it was 4 stars. I'm like, do you not know how 5 stars work?
You want a 5.
We want a 5. We always want a 5. If any Haitians are listening here, we want 5 stars.
But 4 makes it real.
Yeah, 4 makes it real. We'll take a 4. 4.9 is like, oh, they've actually got real people. 5, just
They're
bots.
fake. They're fake.
So
India.
okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to The Dentist Show. We hope that this episode helped you make smiles about more than teeth. To get more resources to grow as a dentist and to learn more about Chase and Ryan, go to thedentistshow.com or just follow the link in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, share with another dentist in your life and help us grow the movement. And be sure to rate and review wherever you're listening.